Have a look at this graph. This graph is given and you have to tell which of these equations belongs to this graph. In this video, you will learn these type of questions. These are frequently asked questions in SAT exams. The topic is graphs, and after watching this video, very easily within 1 second you can figure out these kind of questions, how to solve these kind of questions. So we will do this question in the end of this video. But before that, I will explain some amazing concepts and so many examples. So after watching those concepts, you can very easily answer this question. Now first of all, let me explain all the basic concepts. So first you need to understand about X-intercepts. Second, degree of an equation. And third, sign. These are three very important things. First, let's discuss about X-intercepts. Okay. Now, equations, sometimes you may get equation in this form. See, x square plus 5x minus 6. Okay. And sometimes you may get equation in this form, that x plus 6, x minus 1. What is the difference between these two? If you multiply this, if you simplify this, you will get the same thing. But the thing is that it's very easy to find the roots, the values of x, or simply X-intercepts. It's very easy to find here, but in this equation, it's not very easy to find. You can find y-intercept, but X-intercept is very easy to find. You have to factorize that first. Now, here X-intercepts are simply, if you put this 0, you will get minus 6. If you put this 0, you will get 1. So these are X-intercepts. Here it's very difficult to find. Of course, because these are same equations, so X-intercepts will be same. But if you get in this form, if you get the equation in this form, you might find it difficult. Okay, now let's take another example. X cube minus 6x square plus 6x plus 4. Okay, and I'm writing another equation, just like x times x plus 1 into x minus 2. Now these are not the same, these are different. Okay, but again, it's very easy to find X-intercepts here. 0, minus 1 and 2. You need to put 0, all these, and you will get X-intercepts. But it's very difficult to find X-intercepts here. Similarly, if you get like x power 4 plus 7x cube plus 5x plus 1 and y equals x square x minus 2 x plus 5. Again, you can put this 0, and this 0. Again, you get X-intercepts 0, 2 and minus 5. But again, it's very difficult to find here. Now keep in mind, when you get equation in this form, then you have to find X-intercepts, and the person who is making this question, he wants you to find, that person wants you to find the intercepts. But here he doesn't expect you to find the intercepts. It's fine, you will not need to find the intercepts here if equation is giving in this form. Okay, then the options will be given in that way, so that you can figure it out without finding the intercepts. Okay, similarly here you are not expected to find the intercepts, but in this you are expected to find the intercepts. So whenever equation is given in this form, then you are expected to find the intercepts. Here, if you can find out, it's fine, but you will not need to find out. Did you understand this thing? The first very important thing, intercepts. Now let's talk about degree. What is the highest power of x here? Degree. What is degree? The highest power of any polynomial. So it is 2. What is the degree of this equation, this polynomial degree? degree is 2, because if you multiply this, eventually the largest power you will get is 2. So degree is 2. Here degree is 3. Here degree is 4. Okay. Now this is even, and this is odd, and it's very important. Okay, having degrees even and odd, it is very important to understand this concept, and it's very important to figure out the graphs, which graph belongs to which equation. Okay, understand, it's very important. So keep this thing in mind, having even and odd degrees, having even and odd largest power. Third thing is sign. Now sign means sign in front of the term that contains the largest power. For example, here you can see it is positive sign. So all these equations have positive sign. Okay, positive sign, positive, positive, positive. But if you write y equals minus x square plus 4x plus 3, it has negative sign. If you write y equals minus x square, x minus 2, x plus 3, again it is negative sign. So keep in mind the sign, positive and negative sign. Understand? Now, well, these are some basic things. Now we will apply these things in graphs. So let's discuss this one by one. First of all, intercepts. So intercept means, x-intercept means graph cuts x-axis at that point. So suppose that you have this. So here intercepts minus 6 and 1. It means, suppose that this is minus 6 and this is 1. So graph cuts this on this, like graph is like this. Okay, now why is it going in up direction? Why not coming in downward direction? That I will explain later on. But just understand this, that intercepts means graph, x-intercepts means graph is cutting this x-axis at these points. Similarly, here, so we have 0, minus 1 and 2. Okay, so 0 is here, minus 1 is here, and 2 is somewhere here. So graph might be, graph will be something like this. This, then at 0 it will cut, and at 2 it will cut. So these are called intercepts. Now why is it going like this? Why not going like this? This I'll explain later on. But intercepts. And now here we have 0 to 5. So minus 5. So it's minus 5, it's 0, it's 2. So here graph will come like this. At 5, at 0 it will go like this and like this. Okay, now one thing, only this thing you need to keep in mind, that x-intercepts means graph cuts x-axis at these points. Simply understand? Okay, and it's very easy to find when equation is given in these forms. Okay, in these forms, in factors form. But when equation is given in this form, then only you can find out y-intercept. X-intercept is very difficult to find. So if you put x0, you will get y1. So if we take this, the graph will pass through this. The only one information you can figure out, that graph will pass through this. Okay, it can pass like this or like this, or but it will pass through this point. When if you put x0, y is 1, so it is 0, 0 comma 1. This one thing you can figure out. So x-intercept is clear. Now degree. Okay, so whenever you have even degrees, so graph will, either both the ends of graph will be in upward direction or in downward direction. Okay, again, if even degrees, if we have even, even degrees, it means both the ends of the graph will be on the same direction. Same direction. And when degree is odd, then one end will be in if one end is in upward direction, basically both the ends will be in different direction. Ends in different direction. So same direction and different direction means like this is called same direction. Both the ends of the graph are in up direction. Same direction again, both the ends are in downward direction. Okay, but different direction. This end is in downward direction, this end in upward direction. This is what I'm talking. This is what I am explaining here, that when we have even powers, both the ends will be in the same direction, and when we have odd powers, then ends will be in the different direction. Is it clear? Now come to this part. This is sine. Okay. So when we have positive sign, then when we have positive sign, then see, in case of even, graph will be like this, and in case of odd, graph will be like this. Okay, means it will start from here, okay, and it will go up kind of thing. But when sign is negative, then if it is even, it will be in the downward direction, and if it is odd, it will be this kind of thing, either this or this, but either this, but it will be this. And if it is even but sign is negative, so it will be this, or it can be this, or it can be this, but both the ends will be in downward direction. Okay, you can pause this video, you can write down these basic things that I've explained. Now I'm going to different examples. Now if you have understood all these concepts, so all these graphs will start making sense to you. First of all, we have in this form, clearly intercepts we can't figure out from here, so we have this. Now this graph, this equation belongs to this graph. Now you can see how we can say that this belongs to this. If you look at the degree, largest power of x, that is 3, that is odd. So when it is odd, so both the ends will be in different direction. So clearly one end is in downward direction, one end is in upward direction. And second thing is sign, and it is positive. You can see positive. So I told you that when sign is positive, graph goes like this. Either it will go like this or this or this, but it will be in like rising curve eventually. That's why we have this. So is it making sense to you? Now we have this here. If you look at the degree, it is 3, means odd. So clearly both the ends should be in opposite directions. Second thing is sign. It is negative sign. So when negative sign, the graph should it should go in the downward direction kind of thing. So that's why it is like this. Either graph should be this or this or this, but it will be like this. But if sign is negative, this the sign in front of the term containing the largest power. Next, this. Okay. So we have degree is, I hope it is visible. So degree is what? It is 4 and it is even. So both the ends should be in the same direction. Now sign, it is positive. So when sign is positive, graph goes like this. Either this, but both the ends are in up direction. So that's why this is the graph. Okay. Now we have this. and now I think it will make sense to you. Okay, degree is 4, that is even, both the ends should be in the same direction. And since sign is negative, so that's why these are in the downward direction, ends are in downward direction. So when sign is negative, graph goes either like this or like this or like this, but both the ends are both the ends lie in the downward direction. We have this now. Clearly, degree is what? It's 5, that is odd. So one end should be in up direction, one end should be in downward direction. Means end should be in the different direction. And sign, clearly it is negative here. So graph should become, it should be like this. So I hope, you understand this. Now we have this. And x raised to the power 5. So degree is 5 here. Clearly odd. So their ends should be in the different direction. You can see they are in different direction. Okay. And what else? Sign is positive. So that's why graph is going like this. Now we have this. And x square, so degree is what? 2, even, both the ends should be in the same direction, which they are, and sign is positive here, so they are in upward direction, which they are. And now I think you have understood this, why we have the curve like this. Okay, and here again degree is 6 here, even, of course, so both the ends are in the same direction because it is positive, that's why it in upward direction. And this, I hope you have understood this. Now we have in factorization form. So in factors form, we have to find out intercepts as well, although we don't need that. See, here if you multiply this, eventually you will get x square plus x. It means its degree is 2, that is even, both the ends should be in the same direction, and because it is positive, so in upward direction. But some more details you can figure out from here. If you put this 0, so x is 0 and x is minus 1. I mean, if you put this 0, this is minus 1. This gives x minus 1, and if you put this 0, this gives x 0. And clearly we have minus 1 and 0 as intercepts. So we can get some more detail from this. And here, see, y equals minus x square minus x. So clearly degree is 2, that is even, and should be in the same direction, because negative, that's why in the downward direction. And some more detail you can get from here. If you put this 0, x is 0 and minus 1, and yes, we do have x intercepts here, 0 and minus 1. And here, see, now clearly, if you multiply this, degree becomes degrees 3, odd, and should be in the opposite direction. And because it is positive, so it should be like rising figure. So, that's why we have this graph. But some more detail you can figure out from here. If you put this 0, so x is 0, minus 1 and minus 4. And that you can see minus 4, minus 1 and 0. And similarly this, because it is negative sign, that's why this has changed. Okay, the only difference, because of negative sign, we have now decreasing graph. And here again, intercepts, x is equal to 0, minus 1, minus 4. I hope you have you know how to find intercepts. You need to put each and every factor as 0 and you get x intercepts. And clearly minus 4, minus 1 and 0 are the intercepts. Second, because degree is 4 here, I mean, if you multiply this, eventually you will get the largest power 4. 4 is even, both the ends should be in the same direction, and because it is positive, so in upward direction. And it should again make sense to you. Now come to this question that was asked in the beginning of this video. Now what do you think? So first of all, both the ends, first of all, intercepts. Clearly you can see x is equal to, we have -3, we have 0, we have 2. So where do we see these intercepts? So we see here, we see here, we don't see here, and we don't see here. So answer is one of these two. I mean, if you put this 0, you will get x3, not -3. If you will get x -2, not 2. Okay, that's why these are not the possible answers. We have eliminated them. Answer can be either A or B. Second thing, okay, both the ends are in up direction, so clearly largest power of x should be even. So even here you can't see any even power. Do you see any even power? No even power. But here, yes, we do see an even power. Understand? If you multiply this, you get x raised to the power 4. So power is the degree of this polynomial is, this equation is 4, and that's why option B is correct. Okay, I hope you like this video. So if you have any doubt, ask me in comment box, and subscribe to the channel, share if you can. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Take care.